It's lucky podcast number 13 of the Content Crib podcast. So
yeah, 13 was the house I spent my childhood in and my first T-ball number. And so I've had some good luck with 13. So this is going to be a good podcast.
I love that. Did you have, you're too young for this reference, but did you have Chico's bail bonds on the back of your shirt? Were they your sponsor? Anyway,
I think it was like Murphy's Tires or something. Is that some movie reference?
Yeah, the Bad News Bears. It's all movie reference. It's a movie reference from I think there was the 70s or 80s, and it was Chico's bail bonds. So there you go. Hey, lucky number 13. And when you were tearing up the league with your number 13, now you're tearing up the podcast world on podcast number 13.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. I was pretty bad, like a lot of kids. It took a lot of practice to get good at baseball for sure. I don't know if baseball comes naturally to many people. I guess they're in the major leagues if that does.
No, I still go down saying, if anybody will argue this, that baseball is the hardest sport. If you got to hit a baseball 95 to 100 miles an hour, you've got special talents. I can't, and I don't know several people who cannot as well. So
we used to say that to our lacrosse friends in high school, and they did not like that, but they couldn't really argue it.
Right? No, yeah, they know they can't. And yeah, we could go into lacrosse for the next 2 hours, but we won't. But what we will go into in this edition of the Content Crib podcast is all the cool AI tools that we both have been using, and the reason being is you get lots of questions about all the different tools, AI-based tools that I use, and I'm sure you get the same kind of questions. So
yeah,
we are going to share with you today exactly our AI tech stack. I don't know if that's what they call it these days, but that's what I'm going to call it. So for me, I every single meeting that I have, Zoom or whatever else, I use read.ai. So if you guys have not heard of read.ai, go out and look at it. To be perfectly transparent, we don't earn a dime from any of these things that you guys are going to hear us talk about. So we literally use...
Not yet, unless they want to be a sponsor for the podcast.
Unless you want to be a sponsor, this podcast brought to you by read.ai. No. So I use read.ai, and why do I do that? Because every single meeting that I have with somebody, I send them a meeting synopsis. And what I do is I take that read.ai report that we discussed. A couple different things I'll do with it. I'll put it into ChatGPT to create a to-do list with details. The other reason that I do it is I'll take the read.ai, put it into ChatGPT to summarize the talk that we had. And then if I'm going to create any kind of a PDF or a presentation or any kind of follow-up material, I then use that in my Gamma AI tool, gamma.app, which for me has become the coolest thing. I don't know though. I found something today that might be a little bit cooler, but Gamma for me saves me hours and hours and hours of work. And I was just
forever grateful for you introducing me to Gamma.
Thank you. And actually it's Matthew that introduced me to Gamma, but it saves me hundreds of hours per year. And the whole point behind AI, and a lot of people talk about this, though, AI is stealing our innovation and all this other stuff. It's like, I don't use AI for talking for Eric. I use AI to save me time and all these different things, as far as putting together a presentation with graphics and things like that. And I know you use Gamma. What do you use it for?
Well, I'm glad you asked me, because I think I shared this post on LinkedIn that Gamma is one of the top 3. It might even be 2 apps, AI apps downloaded. And I think that every time I talk about it, it's new to somebody, which is crazy. So There's a lot of people out there using it. It just kind of goes to show the skew of AI and who's using it and how many people are using it, I guess.
Definitely.
I use it for everything. I mean, we have coming up next week our AI content strategy webinar, and put together a slide deck for that. Did that in about 5 minutes. I had a presentation I had to do for an office, and did that about 10 minutes as well. Not even 10 minutes. Yeah.
which would have taken you hours and hours before.
Yeah.
I'd like to also mention in this that I have my Red Sox cup and they just beat the Yankees 3 out of 4 games. Anyway,
They're on fire.
I know they are. It's impressive to watch, and all the young kids are up, so it's amazing to watch. Gamma has saved me. I can't even count how many hours it saved, and where I used to like do this terrible PowerPoint presentations that I drag a dumb picture of something in, and it will look awkward and stupid, and now that's not the case, and it's just from a couple of AI tools that I think Gamma's like $20 a month. Read.ai is like $20 a month. I mean, it's mind-boggling for a small amount of money how many behind-the-scene tasks they can do. Those two platforms can do.
Yeah, I think it's actually 10 when you first start out, so even cheaper than that. And it's important to start at the basics, though, if you're not actively using a LLM or large language model that we know as ChatGPT, Claude, Microsoft, Copilot, these other, Google, Gemini. Once you get proficient there, and we could talk about some prompting basics if you want, Eric.
Yeah.
But you use those prompting skills to then put it into an app like Gamma to give you because otherwise you're going to be going to Gamma and just starting from scratch.
Right. Yeah. Why don't you talk about prompting skills? I know you've taken some AI courses that, teach those very skills, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's important to practice prompting because that's where a lot of the skills are going in terms of using LLMs. And there's 3 different ways that I think you can start out as basics. Clarity is super important. So the clearer the instruction you give, the better the output. So if you start typing into an LLM and you realize that you're getting kind of garbage or the ChatGPT kind of is hallucinating, as they say, you start getting those generic answers. So being super clear and dialed in. I also like to give the prompt or assignment a role, if that makes any sense. So act as a expert blogger on this subject, or act as a sales coach in this subject, or you are a novelist or writer on this, and you want to tell us in a story fashion versus just write about sales.
Well, I was going to say, sorry to interrupt, but I even take it one step farther, and I name the person who's the coach, I use, like, for instance, you're a master social media person, please, in the vernacular of Gary Vaynerchuk, and I'll ask it straight through, and I'll just say, hey, please give me all these different things as this person would do, or a master skill set person, whatever that case may be. But yeah, it's
that's a fantastic tip.
And I'll tell you, I was I think you had sent it over to me, but it was a post by Sam Parr and I think we talked about this maybe on the last podcast, but I started doing it, getting PDFs of books that I, really like, and I think it's really valuable information. I'm feeding it into ChatGPT and using that as a business consultant coach. And it's really, it's given me some unbelievable insight into some things that I'm trying to navigate right now. And it's fantastic.
That's huge. Yeah, that's huge. And if we kind of go a little bit deeper into some of these kind of hacks, I guess, you kind of want to get more advanced. So what I like to do is stack the context of it. So give the AI the background, the audience, the tone and format, which can lead it to give you a better output. And if you really want to get creative with it, ask the LLM to give you a perfect prompt on what the problem you're trying to solve, and then use that prompt to then type it back.
That's very smart. That's a great idea.
It's kind of like mind bending. It's like, where are we going with this? Right?
Yeah, it's kind of Matrix type stuff. Like, what dimension are we at?
Yeah, I know.
I know. Well, it's again, it's not to replace your brain. It's to replace all the different monotonous things you used to do and it's, I don't know if people are listening now, follow Dan Martell, but give him a follow. He really,
he's
he
fantastic.
dives deep into the use of AI in his company, and super smart guy, and DANMARTELL. And I mean, I just learned that with ChatGPT now, if you go to the desktop version, you can customize ChatGPT. They'll ask you your personality, different questions about who you are, what you do. So you can then further customize, some of the outputs that you get, which is really cool. And I learned that from Dan Martell. I know it was his video that was this weekend.
Yeah, Dan's great. I got to get back. I was on a Dan Martell kick a couple weeks ago, and every day goes by, it's like another piece of gold that he's posting.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll say on the prompting is I want to give some real world use cases to just kind of put a bow on this, because I think it's important. And it's a lot of what we'll be teaching in Content Crib RX. It's a lot of what we teach at Content Crib you attend is real world use cases, because how else are you going to apply it is let's use it in the real world, right? So here's a really simple prompt. This is for our sales and marketers. Write a 60-second video script as if I'm talking to a busy physician, casual but credible, based on whatever topic that you want to talk about, whether that's more a device or a therapy. So we talk a lot about personalized videos, obviously, super effective in the outreach, sales, marketing, education. In terms of content creation, you need to get your brain moving when you want to talk about doing posts, drafts. Type in draft 5 hooks in the style of your favorite author or your favorite internet writer, max 10 words each. That's a great way to make a hook, and then you can kind of start to decide where you want to go with that post. And the last one I'll say is research. So summarize, this is one I did the other day, summarize 3 main arguments for and against GLP-1 therapy in medical and layman's terms. So I thought that was super helpful, because I talk to patients and doctors. So
that's huge. I mean, that's, yeah. And I do the same exact thing. I'll, do something, and I use the voice option. I talk into the microphone with everything with ChatGPT. One is
I got to start doing that. I hear it's so fun.
I type horribly, and, I can't type fast. And then on my phone, it's even worse with my, big fat thumbs going, blah, 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 so I do with everything. And I'll ask it, hey, I'm looking for sales objections for this, and this. Pretend it is if you are a tenured orthopedic surgeon with 25 years of experience and you currently use this. I give it the whole thing, and then I just talk back and forth and give objections and different things that you can pinpoint that you want to address or not address. So it's a tool, everybody. And again, there's a free version of ChatGPT, or if you want to get crazy, you can spend $20. So instead of buying 2 Starbucks coffees this week, you can subscribe to ChatGPT for the month. And,
whoever came up with that, the Starbucks coffees thing, it's like, Starbucks is so stupid that you shouldn't spend money on it. Instead, you spend it on anything else that I want to use an example for.
Well, I can tell you, anyway, we won't go into all that whole thing about.
Well, I'm a mushroom coffee drinker. People make fun of me on LinkedIn because I talk about it all the time, but I brew my own cold brew mushroom coffee. It's organic coffee with mushroom extracts. I'm officially been hooked for about almost 2 years. We can talk about that. I don't know if I want to bore you with that.
No, it's how does it taste like mushrooms?
A little bit, but you get past it because it's so delicious, like just straight black. I'm a true Bostonian. I drink iced coffee 360 million days a year. So
yeah. Well, there's nowhere to buy it in Massachusetts because there's not a Dunkin' Donuts every 3 blocks. So
yeah, exactly.
The greatest thing about, we're going off the rails here. The greatest thing about leaving about you get out of Logan and you go north and you're leaving and you literally are going on US 1 and I swear there's a part right through Waltham there that there's like, I'm sorry, Danvers. You can count 6 Dunkin' Donuts within about a quarter of a mile. It's the craziest thing. There's on both sides of the road, there's 3 and then there's 3 and anyway, so everybody's going, I don't really care. But anyway, so if you go to Boston, you can easily go to a Dunkin' Donuts.
Next sponsor, but yeah, what's your next favorite tool?
man.
Yeah.
So my next favorite tool, and this is just one I've just recently started playing with, is Opus Clip, which is game changer. Again, $19 a month. We do a lot of content as far as podcast, and I've started a vlog that I have done 2 so far. And what it does is it basically, with AI, it takes the raw footage, the content, you upload it to Opus Clip. It creates the clips, it creates the titles, it creates, the captions on each one of the videos. And that, what it also does is that it gives you ratings on each one of the videos that it created in social media, engagement and things of that nature, what the hook was. It gives you like letter grades. And I know those who've probably used Opus Clip, they're like, yeah, I know that. But I knew of Opus Clip. I just thought it was something that made clips. And then here's the really cool thing is that it also will publish to all the social media platforms. So, and I've literally just started this week. So now I am now providing content on, I can easily say this now, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
That's awesome.
So I'm going all in on all the platforms, and because as our I guess our advisor, who doesn't know who we are, Gary Vaynerchuk, will say, you better be on every platform and posting as much as organic content as you possibly can, because that's the future. So there you go.
Yeah, you gave me some inspiration to get back on my Twitter game. I have a very small Twitter following, but I started to put my posts back up there as well. No, I think that's great. And your vlog is awesome. I found myself watching the vlog this morning, being like, man, just kind of zoning out, and then like just thinking about all the different ideas to do while you're teaching us how you're doing the vlog. And I'm doing these projects with you, and I'm like, oh man, this is also making me think about doing this, and this. So super awesome vlog.
Thank you. You really wanted to watch to see if I would fall. I know that's exactly. And I did. And in the video today, I almost fell down the stairs. I was like, oh, I got to be on the stairs. So and if I fall, everybody, I'm going to leave it in the video. I'm not, I do not edit.
Yeah.
It's kind of, my shtick for the video is they're absolutely terribly edited, because they're not edited. They have zero thumbnail quality, because all I do is post a picture of me, and that's it. That's the video. And it's just me talking and teaching, and that's it.
Well, I wanted to talk about I think it would be helpful actually in terms, not my next favorite AI tool, but kind of explain the different LLMs and maybe which one's best for which. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great. You're an expert in that. So yeah, please share. I don't use Claude, and I know that you use, Chat, Claude, Perplexity. So yeah, I think that'd be really beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, it's all preference, right? So it depends on what you like and what you're doing for work or what projects you're working on. But this is how I see it and how I think is beneficial. But obviously we have OpenAI, right? The first one that most of us started with, ChatGPT. I think it's best for like mainstream. It's super reliable. It's got an extensive ecosystem, custom create GPTs. I think strength-wise, it's the most mature API, and it can hook up to many different apps. So definitely safe choice for everything. So use cases, business applications, chatbots, content creation, coding assistants, etc. So chat, everyone knows it, everyone loves it. Claude, for me, is my favorite for nuanced conversations or document analysis. I think it's better at like reasoning and following complex instructions, and better for different prompts rather than just kind of ChatGPT is like super streamlined. The vibe that I get, more thoughtful AI, more careful, can really write. If you give it a nice prompt, it can write you non-AI sounding material, which I think is super helpful. So use cases, research, analysis, writing, sensitive business applications. And then the one I've used the least is the Google Gemini. So I think it's more for if you're using, heavy Google Suite multimodal tasks. I think it's really good at understanding images. So I've uploaded some images and had them decipher stuff. I've been working on stuff around the house. I think it's better than ChatGPT at that.
Okay.
And then last one that I just started using a little bit more is Grok. I think Grok is like a heavy lifter. I never seem to run out of it never times me out. So I always go to Grok whenever I need to, do a big project.
So with Grok, do you have to utilize Grok through the Twitter app?
No, you can just set up your own, just like chat.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I have never used Grok, and I think I have access to it, but I've never used it. I was curious if it was only app-based through Twitter, or I'm sorry, X.
Yeah, no, it's you're good to go. You just got to make an account. You might, if you probably just have to open it under Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's how they do it. You just go right through Twitter, and they set it up, and boom, you're off and running. So I've heard that people say that Claude is kind of the most pure because it doesn't go out onto the internet and it's not corrupted by things. Do you find that to be the case, that it doesn't have access to the internet, which causes it to be, I don't know. I as you can tell, I'm probably not describing it the best.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you said that because I forgot about the other one that I use more than Google and Grok, which is Perplexity.
Yep.
That Perplexity is hands down the best for research.
Okay.
So I'll take research for Perplexity and put it into Claude to write something better. And it goes out the internet. And I don't find that Perplexity hallucinates as much. Perplexity really dials in and fact checks itself, whereas ChatGPT could be completely lying to you. So just be careful how much you lean on ChatGPT.
Yeah, it does. Even with deep hallucinates, even when you click on deep research, which you only get used 20 times a month when you have the $20 a month thing, and it's told me wrong things for sure.
Yeah, but Claude I think is the purest. It just has a thoughtfulness to it. It's hard to explain until you start. Anybody listening, if you're into trying these things out, try opening up a window of the three, maybe Perplexity for research, Chat for general use case, and then Claude for writing, and just see what you like the best. It's interesting to use them side by side.
And here's a tip that I'll give you that will probably save you a ton of money. Don't have AI open on multiple windows on your computer as you're doing other things, because it takes a ton of CPU power, and it's anyway. Yeah, don't do that, and you'll all of a sudden find your computer runs a lot better.
Yeah, thank you for that tip, because that definitely helped me out. I was like, man, I already need a new computer.
Yeah, I heard it from somebody else, and I was right in the midst of I need a new computer. This thing is just bogged down. I can't handle it. And all of a sudden I got that tip from somebody, and I clicked out of everything, and I was like, oh, this is all right. We're okay. All right. Well, we've conquered AI today, which is great. And Content Crib podcast number 13 is what they say in the business, in the can.
In the can.
Cool. All right. Well, if you're listening to this part of the podcast, you got to the end. Remember to take a look at contentcribrx.com and tell us what you think. Just leave us a comment and tell us how it looks to you.
This is a good one,
It was great. Thanks, man. I'll see you.
All right. See you.